I need you not to act up today. I'm trying to use my membership until it runs out. Oh, I am live. Okay. All right. So we are live. We're waiting on the third of the crew, which is pretty dope because I know I got to do my church announcements. Welcome to the Crown by Nichelle podcast with your host, Ryan N. Jenkins. A lot of people are not familiar with my poetry name because I don't say it often because I have books and my books don't have Anointed Misfit on it, but my poetry name is Anointed Misfit. So that's why you see Wintah Storm, Who's Coming, Shai Moonlight, and Anointed Misfit. So we are doing sort of a preview of what you're going to experience on Sunday. And I say sort of a preview because we are definitely, I don't know what Wintah has in store. I'm still struggling with what I'm going to perform on Sunday. So I think this is a preview to our dopeness that you're going to experience on Sunday. So if you have not bought your tickets, I think y'all just want to pay me $20 versus $15. I think that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what
People
it is.
don't like a discount.
They don't like a discount. So go ahead and give me my $5 extra on every ticket.
Price.
Pay full price for the tickets. I will take it. So long as we sell out. I'm believing God to sell out. It's 60 seats, even though I have a feeling after I do my walkthrough tomorrow, I may be able to fit 75, but I don't believe in us being packed, especially in July, even though we have AC. I don't believe in packing out a scene. So we are definitely going to see tomorrow when I do my walkthrough exactly what's the maximum number of seats we can have. As far as the vendors are concerned, we just confirmed the Margarita Mason.
Nice.
It's going to be there. I'll admit it'll be mocktails. It'll be mocktail, but she did one mocktail with like a coconut cream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So we finally confirmed her today because who initially I wanted like a lemonade person, she was booked, which is a beautiful thing when you try to get people highly recommend. People are booked.
Booked and busy.
Booked and busy. I love it. So, and one thing you will notice about all my vendors, even my hosts, even my featured poet, they're all Black girl magic. So the other vendors we have, Pasta, is it Pasta to Go or Pasta to Go? Because I noticed on her Instagram page, it said Go. I might be saying it wrong. But Pasta to Go, I sampled her food last Friday. She was at Lake Carolina. Very good. Joshua inhaled it. Like, dude, you finished the container. Why did you just throw it away? It was good. I'm just like, so he is approved. So she is definitely approved by me and Joshua. So I had her stuff. Then you have Naima Whitted, who is the illustrator of my children's book, A Blessing for the World and Heaven's Jewels. She'll be out there with her artwork. Then you have, I'm going down the list. You have Shatoya White. Oh gosh, I always say her name wrong and I don't want to say it wrong.
Decadent Desserts. If
she has the key lime, make sure y'all leave one for me. And matter of fact, when she sets up, I'm gonna go ahead and ask her to put that key lime to the side.
Two, put one to the side.
Key lime, her red velvet. When I say it is on point, it is on point. And she does pound cakes. I feel like banana pudding
with and without bananas.
So she has a variety of desserts. So you have her, and then you have, correct me if I say it wrong, because I always, Morinike. So Morinike, matter of fact, before I took my shower, while I was taking my shower, is a black soap body wash I use on my face. She has body butters. She even said she may bring some Stanley cups. I don't know. The girl makes everything.
Jill of all trades.
Yes. So she said she's definitely her grandfather's granddaughter. So she will be out there, but she's definitely known for her body butters, her body scrubs, her facial products. And I'm going down the list a little bit more. It's one more person I feel like I'm missing. It's Clay, by the way. Matter of fact, these earrings, I have them on purpose. She made these. So, and she actually going to make some custom earrings for my outfit that I have on, which I'll admit I'm going to be dressed down a little bit because I want to be comfortable and I don't want to be hot. So y'all know y'all are probably used to me seeing all dolled up, and I am going to be dolled up. But at the same time, I'm found me a nice shirt dress that is open at the end. So there's no holding any heat. It just lets everything out. So yeah. So I don't know. Circulation. I need that. So I'm so excited. And I feel like I'm missing one other person. Pasta to Go. Taylor Simon from Liberation is Lit. She will be there. And I look forward to sharing some more about me and Taylor are combining on an event at the end of this month. Hey, Jen on TikTok. So we basically all female entrepreneurs, all doing their thing. And that was my whole purpose of doing this. And going forward with future shows, I definitely want to continue to bring in especially Black entrepreneurs, but definitely women entrepreneurs if possible. So I'm hoping to get a candle maker. I'm still waiting to hear back from her. If not, we'll just have to aim for the next show. Because what I didn't realize is a very tedious process to making candles. It's not like we just have a supply. I need to cure them. I need to do this. Mm-hmm. So one lady admitted she wouldn't have enough time to prepare for my event. So I was like, that is fine. That is cool. So again, we are here to talk about all things poetry and about our dopeness. Other church announcements real quick. I'm going to bring up the flyers so y'all can see them only because I just like bringing up my flyers. So again, if you want to access any of my podcasts, you can go on Apple Music, Amazon, iHeart, Spotify. They listen to it, but you can definitely watch it all the time on YouTube. This will be up on YouTube and Facebook for the next 24 hours, and then I will take it down. Our All Black Author Book Drive is actually about to make another stop. I actually are meeting up, and I cannot remember the name of the group of the girls, but they have a summer camp, and we're doing what is called speed book dating. So with my All Black Author Book Drive, I collect books from authors, from community members, and I give out those books. And then in the midst of giving out those books, I usually just set up a tent. And then I realized, because it's hot this summer, I don't want to be outside if I don't have to be. Right. So luckily, I linked up first with Princess Empowerment and Boys and Men and did the event with them. It was a successful event. They were able to walk away with 3 books after speed dating with the book, which means they pretty much get the chance to preview with the book. We talk about what they like, what they didn't like, and then they switch off or walk around the table, get another book. It's a really good activity, not just to do within schools, but to do with kids, period, or adults to introduce them to reading. So that is this Wednesday. As far as things, I already told you about the show. So A Sage is going to be a guest artist along with Rod Foster's accompany me at the show, along with, I already told you that Shai Moonlight is going to be my host. Wintah Storm is going to be my featured poet. Bugsy Calhoun will be on the 1s and 2s. It is $15 in advance. Tickets are in Eventbrite. Nevertheless, if y'all want to wait into the door, that is fine. Give me that $5 extra. It's
on you.
It's on you. So you can't say that I didn't try to save you some money. So I'm just saying. Also, this Saturday, we are doing City Market. I can't remember who is performing. I feel like Bugsy is putting us together.
I know he'll be there for sure.
Chriso is performing. Is TK performing? I don't know. We don't know. We just putting out names. But it's a huge event. City Market this Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina. Go to the Lincoln Tunnel, which is off of Lady Street. It will be poetry, live music. They said artisans and food. Hopefully, I'll be able to sit at a table and sell some of my books.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I need my money. So, and then I'm trying to think. I forgot to say the time. I'm sorry, y'all. It is from 6 to 9. 6 to 9. So by then the weather will be cooling off, hopefully, prayerfully. So it's outside. So I mean, it's definitely going to have poets and artists out there performing. And then I'm trying to think, where's the speed dating bring? Oh, it is actually technically a private event. It's with a mentoring group. But if you are in the Columbia area or close, I don't mind traveling and doing this because she told me how many girls are at the group is not going to be enough. Because you see that stack, that's the stack of books behind there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's I don't think we're gonna make a dent in the stack. So if you want me to come to you, I can come to you. If you want to make a donation, if you go to my website and click events, scroll down, you will see how you can donate and how you can support this cause. This is a year-round thing. I show up where I'm asked, or I just ask and I just show up. So I think that's it. So while we're waiting on our one last person, because she kind of already did this interview already with me. When did you know that poetry was your thing?
Was my thing.
Or something you fell in love with, or like when you realized, okay, I like poetry. Let's start there.
So I found Neo Soul first through Jill Scott, and then found out she was a poet, and found spoken word through that. And then when I wanted to write myself, because I'd always had a diary or a journal, so I was 14, and my report card money always went to school supplies and stationery. So I said, this notebook is going to be my poetry book. Like, I'm going to start writing poetry. And I found deaf poetry as well. So I guess I was around 14 years old when poetry became like my thing.
Okay. So for those of you who missed it, this is Shai Moonlight, also known as Brittany Jones. She will be the host of my show this Sunday from 6 to 9. Doors open at 6. Showtime probably, I say 6:30 to 6:40-ish, because we do want to introduce our vendors, and then we'll get straight into Karen performing. Wintah Storm. And then we'll get into me performing, which I'll admit I'm not going to do a long performance. It's not going to be no 15 minutes though. But just know I'm not going to be there 8 o'clock. I want to have enough time that I can meet and greet with my people, because I'll admit I'm not going to meet and greet before the event, because I feel like I'm going to be too nervous.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm going to be in like a room by myself, meditating, praying. And then at the end of the show, you'll have enough time not only to meet and greet with me, but also support our vendors. So that was my whole purpose of the timing of that. So basically, do you remember like what subjects you used to write on when you first started writing?
It was all real sad because I was 14 and angsty, right? I was going through that whole little teenage phase, and like, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I grew up in church. It was things that you just didn't say to your parents, stuff that you just didn't bring up in the house. And so a lot of what I wrote was just how I was feeling about things, you know. It was real serious at the time, but looking back on it now, because I still have all of those notebooks, it's like, girl, it was not that serious.
So, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that was the same way with me. Like, I have to go back, and when we get off the podcast, I'll bring it to you so I can show you. I don't have all my stuff I wrote in high school and middle school, but I remember it wasn't like doom and gloom for the world, but basically we need to rescue the world. That was one of my poems. And then I remember writing like a BFF poem for my homegirl at the time. And then I'm trying to think what else. I remember calling her sister, and my mom was mad at me because this is not even grammatically correct. And I'm just like, mother, you teach poetry. You should know better than that.
Right.
So let me adjust the camera. Scoot on over. So who is going to be our feature poet? And I apologize for this awkward ankle, y'all, but I have to make sure I can reach the board just in case somebody say something. I can click and comment. And so pretty much we are Wintah Storm, who will be the feature poet on Sunday. Again, this is not a preview to the show. This is a preview to our dopeness. So, because Lord knows I'm still on the fence on what I'm going to perform and how I'm going to perform it on Sunday, which is not good because me and Rod needed to perform and practice this week. So, but I'm going to get it done tonight. So, and Shai, and the reason why I picked Shai as our host, my host, is because I already knew I wanted her to feature. So I didn't want her to feature and host. Then I was like, who else could host that is super dope and has a natural light about her when she's on the mic? She's not loud in your face. She has this natural grace about her, and she's very poised. I remember the first time I saw her perform at House of Hawthorne. I was like, that's your first time hosting? Like, what is happening? Like, so I was like, yeah. She needs to host. So that's why I have her hosting. So I have a feeling we may flip-flop for the next show. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm already thinking about the next show. Like, I'm not going to think negatively like this is not going to go right, but I'm already thinking I'm turning 45 this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So that will be a dope show, especially if my 4th poetry anthology is done by then. That will be a dope release party.
How many have you done?
How much do you have? Have
3.
you already talked about it? How many do you have?
3 anthologies is 3.
3.
This will 4.
And then
Book
how many
number,
books?
that'll be book number 7.
Ooh, come on, and it's the 7th.
Wow.
Yeah, it's book number 7.
Wow.
So it's been paused because I told Sharon fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to be able to finish paying you. So until I can, we're gonna pause on the editing part. But we're pretty much done.
Okay.
But we want to do it how I wanted to edit it was for the first time ever. I really wanted to print it out the book and then edit it on the pages. Before I would just, after we did the edits, okay, send the print, let's go. And then going through my editor, Joseph Editing Services, shout out to Megan Joseph. She taught me stop rushing. You don't have to rush it. So with me, and when we did reverse, we sat down and took the time and edit through the whole book after it was printed out, and ended up losing like 30 pages, but it still worked. So
yeah.
So we someone says, hello, lady Chanel. Cheyenne.
That's change.
Change. Oh, I'm an English major.
You know change.
I know change.
You know change.
Big guy
from Aiken.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Change. I didn't know his name was Change.
It's actually Alan.
That's what I know. I know Miss Alan. I don't know Miss Change. So we came together. I would go into the story of Karen, but y'all met her on a previous podcast. But what's so crazy about me and Karen's story is we met when I was like 14 at a United Methodist conference, summer conference. They used to have it. I don't know if they still have it at Columbia College. And it was a whole bunch of us. And we just, I don't know how we clicked, but we just clicked. It was me, her, and a girl named LaTanya. And then she was performing at what used to be Indigo Gala, Indigo Blue, in Sand Hills. And I kept looking at her like, I know you. But I don't know how I know you. And then finally, when we started talking more, I was like, United Methodist. She's like, yes. And I was like, Allendale. She's like, yes. So we've been inseparable ever since. So we are definitely Tattoo Spirit is on.
Hey, Spirit.
On TikTok. Hey, Spirit, how are you? Spirit, I don't blame him, but I do blame him. Joshua, I think, has 7 tattoos.
Praise him.
Spirit's done like 9 of mine. 8 of mine.
And I'm overdue. We're supposed to do matching tattoos.
Oh.
I know people that do that.
And I'm just scared. But
Why? Have you ever had one before?
No, it'll be my first one.
Oh, okay. I don't do it.
So I know it can be done. So Dominique, hey Dominique.
Hey.
So we are definitely, Dominique owns Lux Lounge,
Event Center.
Lux Life Event Center. So please look her up. So they have a host of events, 3 if not 5 times a week, if not more.
All the time.
If not every day. They
every
have
third Sunday is Elevated Sunday with Shai Moonlight. At Lux Life.
Make sure y'all are there. Make sure y'all are there.
Poetry Unplugged.
So and then I know they do still the line dancing.
They do. Oh God, I think it's a little bit of everything.
Okay,
line dancing. They have exercise classes. They have
camp tonight at 6:30.
So so
and it's available for rental.
Yeah, available for rental. So make sure y'all check that out, and y'all are there. So we're gonna get into what our different topics, I guess, what we're going to do for the poetry. And then I think what I would like to do too, in the midst of us performing, I may ask y'all some questions. I may ask y'all the why behind your piece. So, of course, we're going to start with the topic Black Girl Magic first. That's just, I don't see why we wouldn't do that. So, Sharon, I was sharing with them earlier how I was very deliberate about who I asked to be my vendors, and they're all Black women.
Nice.
So I wasn't playing games.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, because I remember somebody reached out. I was like, that's a dude. Like, and I couldn't say no because a dude, but I was like, no, we're gonna go with someone else. Oh. So who wants to go? I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
With your black magic, black girl magic poem.
I write a lot of Black girl magic poems, so let's do a short one.
Okay.
There is extra femininity in my stride when I walk by a hardworking Black man. It is instinctual. I see him and feel my posture correct. Subconsciously straighten stray locks in anticipation of potential admiration. He may not be my type and I may not be his, but maybe he'll be drawn to my melanin or to my proportions. And if I am his type, I want him to enjoy watching as my hips sway freely, to see the subtle jiggle and bounce that reverberate with each step. And I don't need to see him watch me walk by to know that he might, so with my head held high, I just nod and smile. I'm gonna find something to compliment. Don't work too hard. Stay cool out here today. And go on about my business. And him to his. I hope he enjoyed this momentary distraction as much as I know I did. Thank you.
So I remember you sharing that was a real life encounter. Okay.
Yes, I was walking from my office building over to the main hospital to get breakfast one morning. One of the maintenance men at the hospital was just outside and I didn't see his face. I just saw a Black man from a distance and was like, let me straighten up. Just in case. I don't know. He might not be thinking nothing about me, but just in case. Let me straighten up. And that's what I did. And I went on back to my office and wrote the first little stanza of that poem.
Which I think that's a beautiful thing to do is, matter of fact, I started writing it last night, but I wrote it, but I got to go back and tink it. But I kept hearing the line from Keisha Cole's song, I don't want your man because I got it like that. And it don't even have to be like that. And I go in, but it's based on real life experiences where you're literally, I'll never forget being in a Walmart and I just turned around and this woman clutched her husband or whoever he was. I'm like, ma'am,
I'm looking at the rice behind him.
Nobody looking at him. So it was like, I need to write on this, but just taking real life and writing on that or taking just one moment and going for it is, and I would say writers, we're definitely the best observers there are to have because we notice everything. And I just sometimes I sit in our people watching. Sometimes my people watching, morphs into a poem. So, my Black girl magic, which I'll admit, I may do this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
You got to come on Sunday to find out.
Yeah, you got to come on Sunday to find out. Like I already know they tripping. I told her they just want me to have that extra $5 on the ticket. Because I mean, if you just want to be a blessing to me, I get it.
And
so
take the blessing.
Yes. So Christopher Blackman says hello. Y'all make sure y'all share. Hello, Crystal. Make sure y'all share, let everybody know it's on the podcast. I saw that Jen on TikTok. She shared it out. I greatly appreciate it, lady. This one's called I Be Black. I am Black. I be that Black chick, that Black woman, that Black queen. I am Black. Let's spell that. Be lack. I be that one that don't lack nothing. I be that one that don't lack intelligence. I be that one who don't lack evidence. I be that one whose presence is wrapped in glory. I represent the story of my ancestors who wanted to reclaim our places on the throne. I represent the lineage of kings and queens who exude power. Never will I lower my head to devour anyone's vilification of my humanity. Unapologetically declaring I be, I am, and always will be Black. Not being dismissive of the label African American, but it's just something about boldly saying I am Black. Owning the color that some deem dark, not referring to the richness of my melanin, but as in you want to say that we are representing an evil or a vile presence, as in we're supposed to deny the goddess and the God created us in his image. And that's that piece. That's a part of that piece. So
love it.
So yes.
Yeah.
So
what inspired it?
Yes.
I just kept hearing the line in my head, and I'll admit that was not how it came out in my head, but that's how it came out when I wrote it. Because I just kept hearing be lack and like just saying we don't lack anything. But it was really supposed to be I be like. That's what it was supposed to be. But for whatever reason, when I wrote it out, it was like be lack. And I was like, okay, let me just roll with it. And just
but it rolls well.
It works.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
Yes, thank you. That one will definitely be in the new poetry anthology,
As it should
Eminence. So, yes, a Wintah Storm.
Okay, so first of all, before I do a piece, I just want to say one of my favorite pieces, Black Girl, inspired by you, is "I Woke Up Like This."
That's on the list.
Yeah,
for Sunday.
Freaking love that piece.
Yes.
All right, just want to say that. So
thank you.
Okay. I could be the woman of your dreams, or the star in your nightmare. I will let you choose. Because with or without you, I have nothing left to lose. And before you think this is yet another male bashing piece, let me stop you. Please don't speak. See, this is not about the degrading of you. It is about the uplifting of me, and I stand before you stronger than my pain could ever be. See, I have spent years living in the shadows of my own life, never speaking my truth because my truth is the destroyer of souls. My truth is enough to make warm blood turn cold. My truth is that I am broken. Like broken glass on hot concrete. Be careful where you step. I will bruise your feet. Like being blind in one eye and can't barely see out of the other. Forgive me for hurting that stranger who turned out to be my own brother. Like knocking on doors that never seem to open and knowing that if they ever gave me a chance, I could be more than just a nothing. Like seeing my future, but it's just out of reach. And everywhere I turn, I'm faced with defeat, but I refuse to let this brokenness be the only thing that defines me. See, I have joy in my soul that this world never gave to me. So I will not walk around looking like what I have been through. And no trial or tribulation will steal my joy, and neither will you. I have come to understand that the best rainbows come after the worst storm. So bring on your best insults, because your words can no longer do me no harm. I have stood in front of the mirror long enough to understand my soul, and the woman I finally see before me is worth more than your fool's gold. So yes, my strength can make you love me or hate everything you see. But either way, I am phenomenal times 3. And that's that piece.
So one thing about Karen is she gonna have a notebook. And she and the fact that she's able to find pieces in her notebook, that I'll start in the notebook, but eventually ends up on my Google Drive.
Really?
So, and I have to save it and whatnot. So what do you remember when you wrote that piece?
Oh man, it was during COVID. It was during COVID, and my family and I had started Faith, Love, and Soul. So we started coming together and just writing and all kind of stuff. And like this was one of the pieces that kind of came out of that time.
That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. So up next, and I see y'all are watching on Facebook Live too. I greatly appreciate it. So
you just everywhere.
Make sure y'all share it. Make sure y'all share. So the next one. Also, later on, we're going to do a freestyle session. So if you want to, Karen has this thing where she says, give me a word. So we can do that, or you can, we can go from there, but just keep that in mind. So if you want to follow, Karen, I need to type your stuff in here. Brittany is on Facebook under Brittany Jones, and she's also on Instagram and TikTok under _Shai_Sky Poet. So _Shai_Poet. That's on Instagram and TikTok. So, and if you've been following me, if you go on my posts, I have, like if I get tagged on one more post,
I love it. I'm gonna share it every time. It's going in my story. It's going somewhere. I love it.
So, like, I'm in the effort of me promoting the show. I tagged them on every single post. I think it was like a one post I didn't tag them on, only because it was too long for the. It was Blue Sky and Twitter, and I said, let me just take all this out, and they're taggable, they're tagged. So if you go to any of my posts about the show, especially on Instagram, if you click on them, you will see their names. Please follow. Dope, awesome people. Not only do they host, but they perform. They're also 2 out of the 3 parts out of Peace, which is a nonprofit which does a lot in the community. So make sure you follow them. Bugsy Calhoun was part of that team. Bugsy Calhoun will be, he'll be DJing on the 1s and 2s. What's so crazy is I already know Bugsy knows me too well that I don't have to tell him, don't play this, or, you know, like I already know he's going to have it on right. So, Corey Smith, I see you. Corey Smith was my old Papa John's manager in 1998, Corey.
Wow.
So he's like over Papa John's somehow, some way. Big man doing big things. Okay. So yeah, he always looked out for me, big brother. So I'm gonna skip around. So love. Who wants to go first? And it could be anything to do with love.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Let's write this poem naked. Expose everything to one another. You become one with me as we test the boundaries of our cosmic energy, face to face, so that our souls can go deeper than just this physical connection. See, making love is an art form, one that we paint with intertwined limbs, deep breaths, drops of chocolate, and sprinkles of strawberry. Can't you feel this soul connection as we paint the bed with our bodies? Shades of green, blue, yellow, and violet like rainbows, but all we see are ribbons in the sky, and we can feel God through these rays of light, giving a deeper meaning to this connection we share, this pleasure we feel, this love we see. You helping me see new parts of me as we reflect on episodes of our previous life. No judgment from you, no unrealistic expectations from me, just intense conversations so that you can better understand me and I can connect better with you. We will allow our hands to unlock secret spots and tongues to trigger eruptions that started with unspoken truth and sweet smiles. So let's explore the possibilities of having an open relationship, open to a new way of thinking, open to love, open to trust, open to disappointment, open to real conversations, open to shedding tears, open to a new definition of us, open to sharing the same heartbeat. You exhale fear while I inhale possible positions. I exhale doubt while you inhale orgasmic eruptions, and together we exhale all of our past hurts and inhale our promised future. Together, we change the narrative of our lives. And when we say, I love you, it will be truth and not rose-colored lies. And that's that piece.
I don't even know what to ask. I don't have any questions. So
that's a good thing. When it goes off, you just like, hey, that's it.
What I do love about your performance style is even like I used to feel some type of way about reading versus memorizing. And who was it who freed me? TK. He was like, I've never seen Maya Angelou before memorize anything. And I was like,
oh, she might have did it in her 20s.
Yeah. But he was like, at the end of the day, he said, you read your piece. And I finally got comfortable in the fact that it's okay if I have to read it. So, as a matter of fact, I just did a post on Facebook and TikTok how he was doing some type of sermon and I wrote a poem, the poem Worthy. Mm-hmm. And I emailed it to him. And then I tried to be all high and mighty, and not even high and mighty. I really did not practice the way I should have and tried to go up there and memorize it. And it was so funny. He was in the audience with the poem and he was trying to say the lines. And I was checking it out so bad. So then he was like, so then the following Sunday he said, we're gonna let her do a redo. Because I don't think y'all understand how powerful this poem is. Mm-hmm. And then ever since then, like I've had the liberty to perform, like memorize versus reading with him. So it's pretty dope. Yeah. So what is your love poem?
I used to write a lot of love poetry. I used to only write love poetry. And then I stopped, and this is like my most recent and most liked love poem that is based on my favorite song ever by Jill Scott. He Loves Me.
I want to do a piece like that too.
We've been in the background of each other's lives for longer than you knew, because I have always known you. Through life's phases and changes, I never thought there would be a day that your lips touched my lips, but here we are, creating an amazingly beautiful love story. Pinky promising forever together. And though I can't predict exactly where we're going, I will happily follow you anywhere, in any weather, because you make me so happy. Provide the reprieve that I need from the weight of the world that has always been on my shoulders. Always confirming, like the tattoo on my arm affirms, all you must hold on to is you. You who reassure me that I am worthy of the kind of love I never thought existed. Nakupenda, immensely, and so intensely, purposely and intentionally, we are everything that love is meant to be. Your touch reaches parts of me that only you can see. I am so consumed by you and intrigued by you. Every day I pray the best for you because you love me, especially. Different hits, so different now, because I will only ever experience, especially with you. That's that piece.
Woo! So what you said, you used to write it and then you stopped.
Mm-hmm.
What, do you mind sharing, do you think?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, when I was a teenager, everything I wrote was kind of like sad and angsty. I felt like I was only writing when I was sad and depressed. And so I kind of stopped writing altogether for a very long time. And then when I started writing again, when I was going through a separation back in 2020, I wanted to write like really empowering pieces and like kind of encouraging myself that love ain't lost type of stuff. And in 2024, last year, when I actually started performing and wanted a pen name, like something to separate myself because I am shy for a reason, legitimately shy right now, hands are shaking shy, and I'm not joking. I wanted the name Britt the Love Poet, because if all I write about is love, then I'm manifesting those good things in my, like I didn't want to write what I was actually feeling, if I'm being honest. Okay. And so coming back to finding a love for writing and actual love and people in the family, the poetry family that I've it kind of helped me get to a point to start writing love poems again.
I go back and forth on it. Like if I'm in a relationship, I find myself, Big Bailey just joined the live. Hey, Big Bailey. So I find myself going back and forth, and I'll find myself writing things, not realizing what I'm writing and how I'm writing it. So like the one that lately has been on call, This Is More Than I Love You. I initially wrote that when my mom remarried, and then I took it and morphed it. Like I added more detail to it. And then the poem I know I'm definitely going to do on Sunday is called I Can't Let Go. And it's actually a poetic version of, I think her name is Jamila Woods, but she had a song, Can't Let Go. And then is a part where she's just humming. She's not even singing. And while I was playing, I was freestyling. And I said, okay. So I just kept doing it and then finally wrote it down. So that's the one that Ace Sage is going to be singing.
Oh, wow.
On. So with, so I'm really excited about that. So, and then every now and again, I'll do like something about love. And I guess for me, it's just, I don't want to say I'm anti-love, because I definitely love, which that's another poem. But it's just something about making sure it's authentic. So a lot of my love poems lately have been like looking through the lens of other people and watching other people and their relationships and whatnot. Not saying that I won't have somebody, but I'm just, so, but this one's called Incomprehensible. What is love? Who are you? Who am I? Who is so undeserving, not worthy of this love? Yet you won't take no for an answer. Never do you force what I deem too lawfully for me to comprehend. Daily moments are snapshots of what life would be like if I would just say yes. Yes to your promise to love me eternally. Again, I ask, what is love? Who are you? Who am I? So undeserving, not worthy of this love. See, never was I told or made to believe I was good enough. Content with average, not understanding this language you speak of royalty is my namesake. Little old me has a place at your table, a king's table, unfathomable, satisfied with the scraps, desiring more, but been told countless times I'm not entitled to success. Excellence, stagnant is the only potential level I will experience. But you say you will dispel this myth. From the beginning, you bestowed a crown for me to just wear, but to exhibit greatness. Because of you being slain, descending to hell, to seated on the high of heaven, manifesting abundance, life everlasting to all, including me. So I don't have to ask, what is love? You are agape. Who are you? You are my dearest father, my closest friend. Who am I? So undeserving. Being your daughter makes me worthy of every blessing, promise, inheritance, bestowing perfect gifts, fruits of the spirit, and everlasting love will endure forever. Faithful and never condemning, always willing to forgive me and act like it never happened. Never changing, he is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and shielding me from danger. Weapons don't prosper because he is my protector, granting me grace and favor as I seek to resemble my Savior, strength when I'm weak, joy when I feel sorrow. Hope is my forecast because he's already created tomorrow. Plan is to prosper and conquer all, standing tall in my destiny, molded by him, equipped to be patient because I know he got this. And that's that piece.
Okay.
So I don't even know where that came from, but I just remember writing it. And I want to.
From you?
Yeah, it came from me, but I don't remember where I was when I decided, because a lot of times sometimes I can pinpoint exactly where I was and what was going on when I wrote that piece. This one I definitely can't, but I definitely remember sharing it with someone who was a fellow writer during that time. So, but pretty much, do you find yourself repeating? Like, I noticed in some of your poems, you'll say phenomenal times 3. So is it because you own that phrase, or it's just unintentional? Do you find yourself repeating lines or repeating certain types of poems when y'all write?
I do. If I find something that I really love, a line that I love, I'll say it, especially if Phenomenal Times 3 has become one of my my love pieces that I enjoy doing. And it's a very uplifting piece, and you can do it anywhere. So I like throwing that line in because that it just resonates. Just resonates. And then they go, oh, that's you that does it Phenomenal Times 3. Yeah.
That's crazy. You ever find that, Brittany?
I do, just because I'm almost always writing from my point of view. So it's always in my voice, and there's certain ways that I speak that are just going to come out naturally. And I used to try to avoid that a lot, but now I'm just leaning into it.
And I'm glad you said that, because I struggle with that, because I wrote one poem and then realized years later, you already wrote this poem before, but it was a little bit differently. But when I say it was the exact same makeup, and I was just like, oh, so it's a very interesting progress, but at the same time, and I even tried to morph them into one, but it was like it wasn't working. So I was like, we never go. So it's interesting. So the next category we have is Black Kings. Like, I feel like we couldn't go anywhere without thinking about our Black kings, being that we have awesome Black kings, whether it's our sons, our husband, uncles, fathers, whoever. We want to salute you. I will definitely say this. I think he's still alive. Corey was definitely that dude that looked out for me. Even though he was a manager, I wouldn't say like a father figure. He was like a big brother / uncle. And I remember him sending me off with some money when I went off to college. So he was good people. So to this day, that was the best job. Besides teaching, Papa John's was the best job ever. So I'll go first on this one. This one's called We Need You. And this was loosely me thinking about Jill Scott's song when she was saying, I need him to raise a man. So I need you. So Black man, I need you to understand you are a king. I don't care how they demean your being, belittle what God had deemed magnificent. They keep labeling you as a threat. Subservient is what they want you to believe, but dismissive of the fact that they stole you from a land where we ruled and thrived. The existence of your life threatens their cowardly dominance. The same God who created them created us. Out of the dust, God breathed his perfection, created you in an image only associated with eminence. Your melanin is a powerful symbol representing greatness. Yes, royalty is your namesake. None of the vile names, laws, policies, or systems they create or try to sustain nullifies you as a conqueror. You are a warrior. You are empowered to handle anything, so never question your ability. The crown has always been yours, heavy as it may be at times. Your queens are here to hold you. Remind you of your brilliance, perseverance of your spirit goes back thousands of generations. When they had Jim Crow laws, you built businesses, cities, and towns that flourished. Despite being burned down and bombed, we arise from the ashes, marched on and continue growing our lineage, our legacy. There is a long list of prominent roles you have inhabited, from inventors, engineers, artists, doctors, dentists, senators, congressmen, and even the president. Prosperity is only the language we speak despite our grief and anguish. We are still fighting for the same war, just to live and be treated equally, but don't deny the potential to grow exponentially. Again, the sky is yours. The sky isn't the limit when the moon is something you play with. My king, we need you to keep going. We are behind you and with you. We support you and love you. We believe in you.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Who inspired it?
I don't know. So, no, I think I was preparing for an event. And then one poem focused on both women and men. And then I decided to pick this one out because I want to say, I'm not mistaken, he used to call himself Mason Diction. But Jonesy Starr, you know him, Jonesy Starr.
That's my classmate.
Yes,
Dominic.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So he invited me and a few other poets to perform at DJJ, and it was all males. And we performed. I remember performing this piece.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice.
So who wants to go next?
I don't really have a piece dedicated to men. A lot of my stuff is women based or like about my kids.
Okay.
I do have a friend though who is going through a rough time, mental health, and he's been I've tried to be there for him a lot. He's been there for me a lot. I have a mental health piece that I really enjoy, and I kind of want to do it for him. Last month was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm going to do this piece that I call Now Then Again. Every now and then my mind runs so fast I almost lose it. In fact, I have a time or two, but grace and mercy allowed me to catch up. I am educated, medicated, therapized, and still I find myself sinking again, longing for non-existence. Teetering the ever so fine line between coping and addiction. Why won't this thing loose me? After all of the altar calls, still I find more peace in alcohol and I am tired. But my therapist says she's proud of me, that I've made so much progress and I agree today. But what about tomorrow when my chemicals get to imbalancing again and focusing on affirmations, gratitude, and moon phases, make no changes, and all I can do is ruminate on what could have been, what should have been, what would have been, praying, God, please, do I want to, deserve to, can I make it through this feeling again?
That's good. And I love the honesty, because sometimes you don't feel like it, and it's hard to muster through that sometimes.
Yeah,
so
very hard.
That was good.
Thank you.
So it's called Loving Him. I never knew love until I felt his hand on my heartbeat. The way he tapped the rhythm of our love on my soul reminds me of the way that a light rain kisses the scorching earth. He makes me feel like heaven heard my prayers and delivered him to me. like God was taking notes and sent the person I saw in my dreams. I believe I am his rib. Like Adam and Eve, we are bound together for eternity. Because I can't see me without him or him without me. We breathe each other. I inhale his doubts, his fears, his insecurities, his weaknesses. He inhales my doubts, my fears, my insecurities, my weaknesses, and together we exhaled a promise. A promise to be truly transparent, truly honest, shed real tears, have real heartaches, have setbacks, have comebacks, have 20 years that start over every second of our lives. I have a new definition of love, and it all started when his hand found my heartbeat. That's that beat. My salute to you, kings.
And it's a special place to be when you not only recognize that love is beautiful,
because it is,
but
it hurts.
I think, but it hurts. But at the same time, you recognize it's beautiful and it's attainable.
Yes,
I think that's a level of healing. Because that's one thing. I think that's one of the poems I may do Sunday. I don't know. But it's called "I Love Love." It was based on a poem you did years ago with Indigo Blue, and it's just the fact that I love seeing the relationships. I love seeing the proposals. I love seeing how people been married, this long and whatnot. So I never gave up on meeting someone or being with someone. Nevertheless, because I think it's a sad place to be when you feel like all men are dogs or nobody is good enough and I'm just going to be lonely and desperate and just like, no.
That's the craziest thing. And I hate to interrupt, but I've never felt that way. Like I've always been the type of person that love is too much love out here for you to sit on the shelf and be like, oh, nobody's ever going to love me. I'm always the person that's like, well, this one didn't work out. Right around the corner, there's always somebody else who's waiting to love you. Or if you really love somebody, are you fighting for them, or are you just accepting, well, I love you, but I'm going to love you from over here? Or do you love a person enough to let them go? Like all of that matters. And I just love love. At the end of the day, I'm one of the biggest supporters. If you tell me you love somebody, I'm like, so what you need me to do? I think you need more time to love it. What you need? How you need it? What you need from me? You want to talk about it? You want to get there? What you need me to do? No, back up, go forward. Don't go forward, stay in the corner. And then I won't listen and I still push forward. I'm like, oh, you ain't loving right. So I love it. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I always feel bad when people don't have love. And I'm like, what you need me to do to make sure you get it? Oh, it's so beautiful.
And I know some of it is some people have to dig out of their pain, their hurt, and get healed to actually receive it. I think that's part of it too. But I think a part of I do, because it's hard. I've noticed some people, it's hard for them to receive certain things, as if I've never received that before. I don't recognize if it is love, if that makes sense. So it's like I need something to take away the scales off my eyes. For some people, I think, not all.
I will say I think people fall in love too fast.
Because
I will say, if you love me after you, I'm a big person of, when you say I love you, do you understand what that means? Because I think people, and it could be just me, I think people say it too fast. And then when things get tough, they run. Or they,
and that's not
this,
what love is.
Or they that. And it's like, but you said you love me. Let me show you what love is. Love is, I'm good today, I'm not tomorrow. Love is, I might have a breakdown. Where you at? Love is, I'm sick. Where you at? Love is, what are you willing to give up for me because you want me to give it up for you?
Yeah.
Love is not something to be taken lightly. So when you say that to somebody, that's intense.
That's
very real.
Very.
That's real. And it breaks my heart when people say it. And then I'm like, well, what? Okay. Okay. So I don't listen to it. If you tell me I love you, I'll be like, you love me. Why? What have I done that makes you love me? And if you only love me because you've seen me in the good, what happens when I get to my bad? Are you going to be strong enough to still love me through my bad? And a lot of people aren't. They're only strong enough to love you through your good. Well, me, because I'm a mess. So it's so Love is real. Love is serious.
It is. And I think that's the part that I need people to also understand is that love is a heavy word. It carries so much. So that's why it's so, me and my son were having a conversation. I won't share it all, but it took him a minute for me to find out he was even dating someone.
Oh.
And I felt some type of way. So what was so crazy is how I found out is one of his homeboys kind of snitched on him. Like, well, you talked to so-and-so. And I was like, who is so-and-so? So, but from the time I remember when I heard out they were dating, and then from her being his girlfriend, it was like he was taking his time with it. So you hear him on the phone talking, and I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where I always root for love, but at the same time, I do agree with you. We sometimes rush because we want what we want, and we want to feel what we want to feel. Not realizing that when I say I love you and I'm committed to you, what that carries, and are you really ready for that, and are you willing to accept that? And that's how a lot of heartbreak happens.
Oh yeah, because
you
said the nice part.
Yeah, you said, but also you said you love me, and this stuff goes down, and you're like, I'm good. I just flashed in my head because I went back to that conversation we had. That he told me, he's like, I mean, you told me all this stuff. I just can't handle all this, and I was like,
it's real because everybody is not built for your level of who you are. And a lot of times what happens is people think they are until they see you, until you start peeling back the layers and expose, or you go through something and you really need them to stand in the gap because you're used to them standing in the gap for you. So what happens when they need you to stand in the gap for them? How does it look? Can you put what you're going through aside to be there for them, or are you still going to dump? I know they're going through stuff. Well, let me still keep dumping my stuff on them because they've always been there for you. So is that love, or is that, what is that? Is that love? It might be.
I don't know.
It might be. Maybe it is love.
But I just feel like at some point it should be reciprocated. What I give, I should get from you. But what I also have learned over time, there's never such thing as a 50-50 love.
Heck no.
I don't know why we thought that for so long. And then,
that's such a lie.
Even my pastor talk about, at the end of the day, it may be a day you'll get my 20, but you give me your 80, or you give me your 100, I give you it's a partnership. So it may not be balanced because I don't have it today, but I need you to give it to me. So just knowing that difference, and just it's so many.
That's why I say it's not superficial, but so many people make it superficial. It's an onion. It really is an onion. There's so many layers to love, and if you're not, that's why I'm never a big fan of I love you. You love what about me? What have you even seen from me to make you love me? If you've only seen the good parts, what I do for you, where I'm there for you, how I tell people all the time. I used to tell men when I dated, I want to see you mad. They're like, you don't want to see me mad. You don't
I want to know who you are.
You know, and I'm like, why not? Because you're upset might mean you hit me.
Exactly. And people miss that.
So am I supposed to be, it's supposed to be okay? Because you got so mad you hit me, but you love me. And how am I supposed to feel now? Your upset might be you curse me out, because I know I curse when I get mad. But you love me. So am I supposed to be okay with it, or am I not? And that's what I'm saying. If I've never seen, and I think I was reading somebody's post that said, Bailey posted something. You can't say you love somebody until you've seen every facet of them.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen every facet of me, but you still say I love you, what happens is when you see the other facet of me, you realize, you know what? That ain't what I signed up for. I don't love you.
You can never guarantee to see every facet of a person, though. And people evolve. So who somebody is today and who they are after y'all have been married 50 years from now could be a totally different thing. I think I was thinking love is layered, but also so many things can coexist. So I don't think it's fair to judge if a person feels in their heart that they love a person based on what they know of that person in that moment in time. That's why I don't like the term puppy love, because that kid, that phase in that relationship, that is truly how they feel. And I don't think because we have hindsight to compare it to, it's fair to say, tell a person in the moment, that ain't really love. No, it is. That's true to how I feel in this moment. And I can only base what I'm saying on what I know, what you've chosen to show, or who you may become a week, 2 weeks, 10 years from now. It doesn't change how I feel now, and that being true.
So I mean, it everybody has to figure out what they want to do and how they want to navigate love at their pace.
Yes, God.
Nevertheless, don't
let somebody else tell you how to love.
Don't let somebody tell you how to love. And it was a poem I wrote, and I was going to put it in a book, and I took it out. But I related love to roots of a tree, and it's like, sometimes we ask people to love us, but we don't know how they love. And we don't know their depth. Where did your definition of love come from? So I related that to the roots of a tree. I don't know what you're grounded in. So for me to ask you to love me, like, I just got through reading, it's called The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. It's actually a movie, but I found after the fact it was a book, and the book is much hilarious. It's so hilarious. So it's Sanaa Lathan. It
sounded familiar, but
Ajanou Ellis.
Yes.
I think it's Uzu, but she was on
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah. So one scene in one premise in the book is the fact that not Ajanou Ellis, Uzu, her husband, he's known as a cheater. He's always been a cheater, but sadly, because her dad was like that and her mom was accepting, she had learned to accept it. And finally she gets, spoiler alert, she finally gets to the point where she's like, I don't like you like this.
Right.
And this is not, and this is like 20 years later. And he goes off on her saying how you accepted me this way. You've always been fine with this. And what bothered me about that scene was if she was so fine with it, then why did you lie? Because he would say, I'm going out of town for a recruiting trip.
Come on now.
I'm going out of town for a recruiting trip. And then one scene, he didn't realize that she was at the hospital with her homegirl who was sick. They went out to the parking lot for something and saw him across the parking lot with somebody else. But she was on a recruiting trip. So it was just like, and so finally she gets to the point where she's like, I'm done. I'm over this. And it's so much I want to say about this, because even to the point he brought the mom over the house and like, you need to talk some sense into her because she's trying to leave me. And the mom's like, it's just certain things we have to bear. As she said, our heavenly grace. I was like, it ain't you. You what Bible you read, and we have to tolerate cheating. No, like, stop it. Like,
but that goes back to same thing you're saying, right? But that goes back to the person, like transparency. Has everybody heard that? Or has that become y'all new thing? I want you to be truthful, transparent, and honest with me. Have you heard that so many times? Everybody wants it, right? So what I found out is transparency means I'm telling you everything, correct? What it means for the other person is, so since I told you everything, you don't get to have a feeling about it. You don't get to feel how you want to feel because I told you everything. I've been transparent. I've been honest. So what it created was, I told you. So how dare you feel how you feel? How dare you have a thought or an opinion about it? I'm being transparent. I'm not cheating on you. I'm transparent. And so people confuse the fact that because I'm transparent with you, that don't mean I get to feel how I feel.
Exactly.
That means I'm supposed to be like, yay, he told me everything. Great. I agree with everything you're doing and saying. This is beautiful. No, I can still be mad.
Exactly.
I can still not like it. I can still act how I act. But you don't like that because I'm truthful with you. I'm transparent. I'm being honest. Previous relationship. That was his thing. I'm being truthful with you. I'm being honest with you. I'm being transparent with you. How dare you feel how you feel? Because I told you everything. Yeah, okay.
That is crazy to me. So it's just, and I also strongly, I like what you said earlier, Brittany, about different stages of love and just knowing who that person is. Because I've known people that I've heard of relationships where they knew each other, and in 12 days they decided, you know what, this is it. let's get married. There's no need for us to wait.
Yeah.
And they're still together to this day.
Yes.
Like, it's one couple I follow on Facebook. I didn't even realize she shared later on, but I think 6 months into their relationship, she found out she was pregnant. And I think the little boy now is like 5 or 6. They're married now. And then they have a little girl. And they're about to, and it's just their love story. It's like some people know when they know.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like a level of honor and commitment that once I know that I know and I say I'm committed to you, I have to be committed to you through better or worse. Whether, you know, you having your high moments or your low moments, I'm committed to, I'm not going anywhere. And that's where we have to be careful when we tell people I'm committed to you. And then when some stuff hits the fan and you just like, oh, I didn't bargain for this.
Yeah,
but you
they didn't.
So you got to know, and you got to take the time. And I'm going to tell my girls that, like, what do you really know about this person? Not saying you can't like, there's nothing wrong with liking people and crushing on people, but take the time to really know this is somebody. Like, it used to bother me when my girls will fall for the guy who was the most disrespectful to teachers. And I'm just like, so, but he's not like that with men and chickens. I was like, it doesn't matter.
But I mean, now I got to be devil's advocate because I got into the biggest thing with my previous person about how I like somebody the way I like them. They are great to me. But you don't like them because they ain't great to you. What does that have to do with me? And they're like, but you shouldn't like them because they're a jerk. They're this, they're that. But not to me. They treat me like I want to be treated. So I'm supposed to give up the person I want to be with because you don't like them because you don't like their this, and this. So I'm supposed to give up my love because you don't like it, but they treat me like I want to be treated.
But I feel like that's conflicting. So I get what you're saying. Like, if you genuinely don't like me as a person, I get that.
Right.
But I feel like it's conflicting if overall how they deem adults is disrespectful and rude.
Right.
And I know at the end of the day, how the guys are with the girl is something about that girl that draws them, and they want to pull something from it. Nevertheless, like, and they're not making an effort to improve themselves or an effort to be respectful towards adults. That's why I have an issue.
I get you.
Yeah.
So like, just like I would have a hard time wanting to be with a guy and finding out he's estranged from his family. Like, I would wonder what's the deal with that, and let's find out some history behind that. Or you're not family oriented. Like, I need to know how you treat other people. I need to see how you are with your mom. Are you a mama's boy to the point you gonna kick me to the side and bring her in? So like, I need to know stuff like that, and I want to know stuff like that before I even commit someone. And just it's so many layers. It's so many layers.
I've been in relationships, the past few relationships, which is crazy. All the mamas have been dead. So it's like I never got to see how you treat your mama. I just got to hear about it from all of them. So it's been I've never had to compete with the mothers because there've been no mothers to compete with. So that's always been an interesting thing for me. So I don't know. I don't know that experience. Like, your mother has to approve because there's never been a mother to approve. So
the last guy I talked to, and I don't know if he was the last. He was the last. Oh, he was a bum. But
how are we here?
I love it.
We were talking, but we weren't talking.
Right.
And while we stopped talking, there was a level of disregard he had towards women. And I think I was there as long as I was, because we did vibe, as the kids like to say. Like, we traveled and but I remember how he used to talk about his mom. And I realized that's what he was conveying, how he talked about women. And the fact, like, I'll admit I was at a low point when I was with him. So that's a podcast for another.
It's like,
no, because I knew
hasn't most of them been coming to your life in your low point?
No,
like,
that particular one. Because when I think about some of the stuff he said and he did, and I was like, why was I still there?
Easy, because he came into your life at that point, and gave you something you needed at the time. We ain't giving up the good stuff.
No, he not.
Or what we think is the good stuff.
No,
Okay.
I can't condone that. Because let me tell you what's ironic about him. When I was done, few months later, that's when I released my first 2 poetry anthologies. I got my house, this house right here.
Oh, wow.
Like, God was
trying to tell you so. Well, that's what the secret is.
Here you go. Finally.
The door's open. The door's open.
Yeah, but you was hooked up with
so nappy-headed.
Exactly.
That's what I'm learning. Okay,
yeah, like no. So it was interesting. So I think, and that was ironically in kind of at the latter end of COVID too, or in the midst of COVID, and just wanting that companionship for some reason. Yeah. And we did like travel and stuff, but it was, oh my God.
Because companionship is a powerful thing. We act like it's not, but we are not meant to be by ourselves.
Exactly.
And all of us here at some point work. I was a single mother. She's a single mother. You are a single mother. We love our babies, but can I get a man? Can I just cuddle with somebody other than them? I mean, we
because even Josh was like, you need some adult time.
I know, exactly. It feels good.
So it was just one of those things where once I cleared them out, because I really should have ended that a lot sooner than I did. And once I did, like everything, I think so. So
my dad got on me about it.
So
holding on to stuff.
But I'm good now where no, I still kind of curse myself when I think about like you was hooked up with that, and yeah. But I'm in a better place now. I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place. So we are gonna do this again because we are way over our time, and I feel like I'm about to be on the couch. So I'll never forget when he called my phone. I recognized his phone number. He called my phone while I was house hunting at the time. And I was like, no, I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
Okay, I gotta ask. I know we're out of time. How many times did you go back when you were telling yourself, "Oh no, I'm done"? How long did you stay when you told yourself, "I'm done"?
I think once. No, 3 times.
Girl, wait a minute.
No. Let me explain. What happened was the first time was after we met. We had our first date. We kind of like hung out the whole weekend. And he admitted he was a Muslim. Well, anybody knows me, I'm a Christian. Right. That's a no-go.
Right.
So here I am thinking I met someone who we can do something with, and I realized, no, we can just be friends.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So I went back to thinking we can just be friends. But what I ended up being is friends who came off as the girlfriend at the same time.
Right. Right.
So then it was something that transpired that I was like, I'm done. So that was the second time. I don't remember how he wiggled his way back in there. Something happened where what people don't realize is a real thing, and I think also turns into trafficking, is people get these jobs in random places, and he was somewhere and he was scared and he was blowing up my phone. I'm in Texas. I don't know how I'm gonna get back. So I was kind of like talking him through that. So that's how I got sucked back in again. So thankfully he got back to where he needed to be. And then something was said or something was done that I was just like, nah, I'm good. I remember that was May. I remember that was May of 2021. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And
that's not the same.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3 times after the no.
Okay. But it was like I was trying to make excuses to keep them close and then realize, nah, this is not.
Sometimes I would take that little bit of communication to start back up, and then here we go again.
Yeah. So it is crazy to me. So y'all who missed it, y'all need to go back and watch this podcast. So it will be on YouTube forever. When we leave here, I will download the audio and put it on Spotify, iHeart, and all that good stuff. This is technically, I think, the last episode of season 2. I think, and I say I think because I came with another idea from the episode. So I have to check on the availability, but what I thought about just having a quick podcast episode with all the vendors.
Oh, that'd
and
be
have
nice.
them share their story and their products and talk about that. I thought about doing that, but I don't know their availability and my availability. And then I know one of my vendors, which I hope she does it, Naima. Naima's really shy. She's the illustrator of my children's books. She'll be a vendor with her artwork. So that's the only one I can see like, oh no. So if I
just come on instead of sitting.
So we'll see what happens. So I'm definitely going to, if I can work that out, then those will be the final episodes for season 2. And then you won't see us again. I'll still probably go live on TikTok and Instagram and whatnot every now and again. But as far as like podcasts, I probably won't resume those back until August, which is crazy to me because we're almost done.
Yeah.
July just started, but I feel like it's almost
we're
a week into it.
And
we're almost
you're even though you're not teaching, you're still in teacher brain, and teacher brain.
The back to school announcements are already on television. Exactly. I was like, I need y'all to stop it. So so what is coming up this week? City Market, Lincoln Tunnel, Columbia, South Carolina from 6 to 9. Be there. It's a host of us who are performing, vendors, food. Again, 6 to 9, Lincoln Tunnel. My show, Sunday. Shai Moonlight is the host. Wintah Storm is the featured poet. I don't think y'all understand the level of brilliance that will be in the room. All of the vendors are Black females, which I totally love. Come get your eat on, come get your art, buy some art, buy some body butter, buy a mocktail from the Margarita Mason. It's so many. Get you a key lime bowl or a banana pudding bowl from Decadent Desserts. Like anything you can think of. So come prepared to spend your money. Okay. Even if you just support one of the vendors, that will be great. I don't want them to leave away and then not have anything. And I expect the place to be packed because y'all are slow on buying these tickets, but I just accepted sitting in front of Brittany. It just came to me. Y'all just want me to have that $20. That's
what it is.
So, and then I'll get the money. Eventbrite won't get the money. So I won't have to pay no fees behind
it. What the young girls do right here.
Yes, that's what it is. I don't have to pay no fees behind that Eventbrite ticket exchange. It goes straight.
$40 bill together for something.
So I will have my little purse bag. So thankfully, I have former Roses who will be working the door and working my vending table. So I had 4 girls who like, yeah, I can do it. So I'm gonna get with them, and I'm really excited about Sunday.
I want to say something just real quick, and it's about Sunday because it's a little cosmic. You mentioned Jonesy Stark. I think that's my classmate, Ridgeview class of 2006. So is Rod Foster. And so us being on the show together, I think it's really dope.
So Rod Foster, yes, and I forgot. I think I mentioned him earlier. So Rod Foster is playing behind me, the great, awesome musician. I don't even want to say guitar player because I know he plays more than one musician. So Rod Foster is playing behind me. We are to Shai's hosting. Karen is the featured poet. Bugsy Calhoun is DJing. Ace Sage will sing on one of the songs with me. Ace is funny because when I asked him to do it, I was expecting this enormous feat. And when he quoted the feat, I was like, really, Ace? He was like, yeah, Miss Jenkins. I was like, okay, I'll take it. I'm not going to argue with that. So I have to tell you afterwards what it is. But Rod Foster, we actually taught briefly together when I taught at Ridgeview. Last year. So Rod, I really eventually want to have a full band. But I will. I just don't have full band money right now. So, and then let's be honest, if I had a full band, I would definitely have to charge more for the tickets. Now I understand. This is another point, and I'll get off after this. Now I understand ticket prices because you have to pay people, and people forget that. I have to pay for the venue. It's very rare you get a venue that is free.
Very rare.
Okay, so between the venue and then if you have people performing on the stage, even though I'll admit I have people who are performing and they're just like, I don't have to pay them anything. I'm trying to give them something because that's just who I am. So, but now I understand why people charge. Even if it's just $20, that for some people may just cover the venue and that's it. So they're not really making any money just from this event. Yes. So, and then don't even bring food into the mix. Like that is a different. So luckily Pasta to Go is coming. I don't have to pay her anything. She's bringing her own stuff.
Yeah.
And she's doing her thing. And I think that's the easiest way to go. If you want to have food, is to have a food truck. And then you don't charge them to be there. They are responsible for their food and expecting how many to serve and whatnot. So that's what I strongly recommend. But yeah, that is crazy to me. So y'all, Sunday is going to be lit. Saturday is going to be lit. Be on the lookout. If you're not already following me on social media, it is literally my name, Ryan N. Jenkins, everywhere except Instagram is now Ryan N. Jenkins, one pen, PEN. Because I do have a lot of stuff coming up that I don't want to get into detail right now. Thursday, I'll be on Watch Fox News promoting the show with Friendy Clarvo. Yeah. So I think this is my first TV interview as a poet. I've done it for other stuff, but not as a poet and author. So when we were talking, what was so funny, I said, I was a teacher for 20 years. He said, no, you wasn't. I was like, he said, you don't look, you ain't no, he said, ain't no way. He said, ain't no way. I was like, yeah. So I said, yes, I'll be 45 this fall. He was like, oh, we'll definitely talk about that. So, but anyone knows Friendy, he is like the coolest guy ever. And he actually came out with a children's book. I thought he just came out with it, but it's been out for a year.
Nice.
But he used to stutter as a child.
Oh.
So the book is called Stuttering Stephen, and it's basically how he overcame stuttering.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So he even like in the book, in his presentation and in the book, he lists resources that the state can offer to help you with stuttering. And
I need to get in touch with Friendy Clarvo for strength coaching.
Yes, when I say, so when we did, Alana Grant, she's part of what's called Richland County Education Partners, I think that is the name of it. Yeah, they call themselves RCPEP.
Yep.
And they had a literacy fair, and he was the headliner for the literacy fair. So I spoke with him briefly, but the producer of Fox, I met her at a career fair at the summit for their career fair. So when I reached out to her, just texting all my contacts, I got a show coming up. She's like, no, we can put you on Fox. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's amazing.
So we air at 10, he says, but we shoot at 10, but they air at 5.
Okay.
So he said, long as no calamity or big news story happens, I'll be on the air. So
That's exciting.
Wonderful.
So that's all. And me and Taylor from Liberation is Lit are coming together to do a book talk on my middle grade book the end of July. So once I yes. So if you have not, that would be a great, bring your middle schoolers, even your 5th graders to come talk about the book and learn about the story and my writing and my passion. And I'm looking forward to doing more events like that. It's just a matter of getting with people and finding out where and when, because if I don't have to come out of pocket, I won't. Like, I would love to do something at Drip. So I'm just waiting to hear from them. I may have to reach back out. But Drip Coffee in 5 Points, they have a little space in the back where you can have events and whatnot. So we have been on here long enough, y'all. I just realized
we didn't even get to all of them.
Yeah, so we didn't even get to all the poems. Well, this is definitely
sorry, y'all, that I got off topic. I'm sorry.
No, so we are definitely, but we've done that before. So we definitely will get together and do like a part 2. Like I owe Crystal and TK, they enjoyed it so much. So you do a part 2. I was like, just let me, I'll let you know. So thank y'all. Share, rewatch. If you're rewatching this in the replay, please put in the comments and let us know and tell us what you think. Y'all have a good one.
Peace, y'all.
Bye. Yeah.